Hi, I'm George the Antique Nomad. Come with me as I wander the country in search of valuable vintage, amazing antiques, and cool collectibles. We'll buy, sell, and trade at antique malls, shops, and shows, estate sales, flea markets, thrift stores, anywhere people go to find really interesting things that just aren't made anymore. So come on, let's go! Hey everybody, it's George the Antique Nomad, and this is part of a new series of shorter format things where we go to a place that we've been before and we show what's new and we talk more about prices and those sorts of details and look for the things that weren't here before or the things that have been added to. And in this case, this is an add to. We're at Twin Lakes Antique Mall in Gilbertsville, Kentucky, where I have a space, and this is the Fiesta Corner, and boy do they have a lot of Fiesta. Now these colors and styles that you see here are primarily post 1986. A lot of Fiesta collectors distinguish between the pre and the post. There are some collectible colors that are out of production after 1986, particularly the lilac is hard to find and the persimmon's out of production. Fiesta has kept themselves relevant and in the marketplace, and actually it's hard to find a lot of these pieces new stock because they are so backed up on orders that you really can't order this stuff from the factory. So a lot of the people who already have a relationship with them, these are the places you go. And that's why there's such a variety here. These folks have a connection to the factory, which is in Newell, West Virginia. There's the plate that tells you so. That commemorative plate is $45. And these pieces are actually priced below the manufacturer's suggested retail price, which is nice. For example, this covered box here is priced at $30, but on the back, I believe we will see that the MSRP is $43. So these folks have an arrangement where they're able to get these things as they're going out of production, as the colors are changing, and able to bring them in here. So it's very colorful, it's fun. You know, I like some of the newer pieces because there's different items in the line, like the covered box, the Christmas tree, things that they didn't make originally in the first 60 years of production that they have added on to. The trees here are $23 each. What else do we have that's different? This looks like some sort of a toothbrush holder or caddy. It's $19.50. And the soap dish here is $16, so they're even doing some bathroom accessory wear. This one, the Fiesta mark is in there, but it's very faint. So you kind of have to know to look for these rings around everything. But a lot of the pieces are based on the original shapes, like the Cobalt cup here and the creamer. These are priced at $8.50 for this one. This one's a tangerine color, $9.95. So the prices are pretty reasonable, actually, and certainly less expensive than the original colors. So if you like to mix and match the old and the new, it's a great way to do it. And they did a little bit of transfer wear here. In fact, if you come around this side, we can show you, these are what they call the coastal. So it's white, but then they have this really great shell transfer on it. And transfers on Fiesta wear were something that they only started doing around 1969 when they did a line in the Harvest Gold and the brown that had transfer wear. The coastal wear, it's a little more expensive. It's harder to find. $74 on this piece, $49.50 on the bowl. So a lot of fun variety in Fiesta that you don't usually see. But let's look at some things that are a little older vintage because we want to take you through the mall here. This place has a couple of things I think are really fun. And these are salesmen's hat samples in little boxes. They have little metal hat boxes and they do this little tiny hat. They called them salesman samples, but really they're just sort of a novelty to give out to remind you that you should buy a Dobbs hat the next time you need a hat. And of course, hats were a really big deal. Most people wore a hat until the 1960s, and then hairstyles changed. Men's hair got longer, women's hair got bouffanty, and suddenly hats didn't make a lot of sense anymore. And so we see a lot of people collecting the hats made in the 50s and prior. This space also has a really big selection of salt and pepper shakers, but we're kind of seeing them from the back because of the way the cabinet faces. But they've got some really cute ones here. These down here are Shawnee, and you don't see this couple very often. The price on these is $25. It's an unusual pair with the accordion player and the woman with him. So that's really kind of a fun thing. Down here is a neat Victorian string holder. made of cast iron. You'd put your ball of string in there and then pull out the top. And this was a necessity in every home because they didn't have adhesives like tape and things that you could just use. The price on that is around $45. Some string holders, the ceramic ones from the 30s and 40s that are very whimsical, where the string comes out of a cat's mouth, for example, are very collectible as well. Here's a thing that we see, and you're going to find these in the wild still because this was introduced around 1976 for the American bicentennial, made by Johnson Brothers, but done specifically for the American market. This is called Liberty Blue. We have the platter at $84.50. This is a hard piece to find, the casserole, but they sold a lot of this in the grocery stores. It's $109 here. $39 for the butter dish. They would sell you the plates and the basic pieces in the grocery store, and then you had to add to it. And so it was a way for them to get new people collecting and interested in this. And it's also interesting to me because the Staffordshire Potters were really against the American Revolution, against England attacking us and not letting us be free, because they had a big business with us and they didn't want to lose it. Pyrex, of course, is hot as can be, and they've got a whole lot of neat sets here, and it'd just be fun to show a few. Of course, we've got the Amish butter print with the tab handles here. The prices have really gone up on these. I think they are asking, they're asking a few $100s for these sets now. This set here, they've got $229 on. This is the one that's just the plain-sided. And then they have it here, the gooseberry in pink. They've got $350 on this set, and that might be a little aggressive, but boy, the market for Pyrex has really exploded. So finding complete sets together, not necessarily the easiest thing. Oh, we've got records. Records are fun, and records are something that sometimes are very inexpensive. Most of these are only $1.50, I've noticed. Now, they may not be as popular as some of the rock and roll ones, but they've got all sorts of fun graphics. A lot of people are just buying these for the covers, to be truthful with you. I'm trying to see if there's anything that's a little more famous. The last time I was here, I pulled out a Tammy Faye record, and that was fun, and that sold right away. I do not know who the Fullers are, but A Family Affair, that always sounded wrong to me. I don't know. What else do they have down this aisle? We're going to kind of try to show you the first third. This place is divided up into 3 different halls, and so we're going to go through this one first. Now they've got showcases, and the showcases are interesting because sometimes they have interesting little groupings. This one has 3 Humpty Dumptys in it. These are well, the one in the middle is 1940s, and the 2 on the outside are 1960s. They are little head vases, essentially, and they're priced in the $30 to $45 range. The Razorbank is neat here too. This is what they call a Rockingham glaze. This is where you've got this sort of yellow over brown. One of the very earliest ways of multiple colors in glazes. Those originated back about 1800, and this one is priced at $65. This one probably dates to about 1900. Let's see what else is fun and interesting here. They've got a bunch of books in here, and I noticed one of them, Little Black Sambo, is printed with many different covers. And of course, Little Black Sambo became politically incorrect, but it also makes it very valuable to book collectors, and we see 95 on that particular version. Oh, across we have Lionel electric trains, and this is fun because there's a variety of them. The earlier ones are going to be metal, but by the 1950s and 60s they were switching over to plastics in a lot of the bodies and things, and a lot of these are very collectible too. We've got the Lionel lines with the coal tender behind. The AC in the back there, that is priced at $35, and that's an unusual piece. Let's see, next door we have Fenton, and Fenton, of course, is something that I'm really interested in right now because I'm getting ready to do the Fenton convention at the end of July in Marietta, Ohio. And I've been looking in here, but of course, like everyone, they have caught on to fairy lamps. We've got the Fenton fairy lamp right here at $75 in this sort of a mauve color from the 1980s. It's called Beaded Daisies. The beads are on the top and then the daisies are on the bottom. I like the one behind it. It's hobnail and amber, but it's got that pedestal base, which is interesting. And that one, I believe, is priced at, oh, I can't really see through the case, the way the tag's flipped on that one, so we'll just have to guess. They've also got a lot of the Burmese and the Rosaline. This is Rosaline. Notice it doesn't have the custard in it like the Burmese does, so this one would not glow under a black light, but it is a very hard color to find. They only made that for a couple of years because it was hard on the kiln, so it was difficult. It's priced at $200. The Burmese basket behind is $90. The ewers are $150. Very pretty pieces. They've got a little bit of Christmas because Christmas collecting is a year-round thing. I really like the Holt Howard Santa candle holders. The Holt Howard are just fun. They're very bright and happy in the eyes, and the details are really good. This is starting around 1960, and they really did a better quality than most of the Japanese companies were doing at that time. And I think that, and I think I mentioned that they're $60 for the pair. Holt Howard Santas and related Christmas things have really gone up in value because they're considered just a little better than the rest. Oh, here's something really neat. These dishes are all from the Ford Rotunda, which you see in the background there. And that was a feature originally at one of the World's Fairs, I think Chicago in 1933, but Ford would participate. And so you have all of these various things. This and the plain ones would have been used actually in the employee cafeterias. So they're not very easy to find. These are all going to be 1930s vintage. We have prices starting at about $45 on the little oval dishes. The plates with the Rotunda on them, the large ones are in the $75 range. Around the corner here, we have a bunch of interesting stuff, but the thing that for some reason always fascinates me, because my grandmother had this set, is this set of Samsonite luggage. I just love the color. They've got $40 for the set of 3. Now there's some things you need to look for if you're buying this for resale. Sometimes these covers would come off. It's not that it's not still functional, but that's going to devalue some. And then you'll notice this one has just a little bit of yellowing to it. It's not a problem on this one because it's not deep, but sometimes they're really yellowed and the color is so far from the original. And also these materials they use, this vinyl covering, can get sticky feeling if it's been stored badly or has been in like a hot attic for a long time, and you really can't do much about that. So you really want to make sure if you're buying that sort of thing that you check out the condition before you buy. Let's see what else there is back here. There's so much in this store. There's 170 dealers in this mall, so there is a lot to see. And I'm just going to try to pick out a few highlights to do for you. I think oh, these are pretty. I don't see tall candlesticks as often, and these are blue luster. These are going to be 1930s with the gold hand painted. And this particular one is by Turig, which is a Czechoslovakian company. Now you'll notice the blue has just started to wear a little because this was again all on the surface of the piece. These are priced at $55 for the pair. I find that it's hard to get, not just in lusterware, but in general. The taller candlesticks are more desirable and just seem like they're a little scarcer for some reason. Now, I just noticed they're having a sale, so now the sale price is actually 40% off of that, so that makes them a much better deal. Let's see what else we can show you. Now, people have been not as interested in crystal lately, but I just am starting to see interest again in the market. I'm starting to have people actually requesting crystal pieces and looking for certain patterns. A lot of these pieces, I was mentioning before that cut glass is one thing and pressed is another. Now these birds, these are 1970s, 80s, and this is pressed. This is not actually cut. If you feel with your hand, you're not going to feel any sharpness here. But these are actually, they are German crystal. Hofbauer was the company. This is the gravy boat. It's $79. But again, we're 30% off here. So in reality, that's going to be more like $50. But this is a collectible pattern. The Hofbauer with the birds is definitely something that I have people asking for because it's something that was done recently enough that people remember it. And people are starting to catch on that if you have a lot of light in a window, or if you can backlight them a certain way, you get a lot of refraction and you end up with all the colors of the rainbow. So when people say, oh, I like colored glass, well, crystal can give you that color if you show it correctly. And I think that that makes it a lot of fun. And we are going to move on to another section of the mall next. I have enjoyed bringing this to you, and I'm really enjoying doing these shorts where we talk a little bit more about specific things and more detail about prices that are being asked at retail. And I hope that's helpful to you as collectors, and also for you who are resellers to have an idea of what their dealers in the market are thinking about these items. I'm George the Antique Nomad. Check me out at the social links in the description, and we will see you again for more fun videos from various antique venues all over the country. Bye for now. Thanks for joining me again in the fun and fascinating antique community, here where online meets the real world. Please click the subscribe button below, click the bell to be notified when new videos upload, leave a comment below, and hit thumbs up to like this video. Links to our online social media and our items for sale are in the description. This is George at the Antique Nomad. Bye for now.